what is it, I'm trying to fry my little lamb chop. I can't even get started, right? Like, well, just leave YouTube alone and cook your dinner. This has nothing to do with YouTube. When I was a kid, my mom had a little black and white TV. And think about when you're that young, I don't know, it must have been the 70s. You know what? Whenever the one everybody hate, that Star Wars Christmas special, whatever year that came out, I saw it, right? Because it was Christmas time. It wasn't Christmas yet. Nobody else saw it. I don't. Later years in high school, nobody talked about it, but I saw it because she was watching it when she was cooking. No, the one the Chris stop. I saw it. I probably asked her, whatever. She might not remember, but I know for a fact. So when she be cooking, she had, she always had a little black and white TV or something. So that's where it has nothing to do with watching YouTube, and I can't, that. Anyway, what? It's not from that. I'm just saying. Yeah, they always had a TV or something. Thanksgiving, Christmas, they couldn't even, especially, remember? He used to get mad at me because I wouldn't wake up for the goddamn Thanksgiving Day parade. It's 83. Fuck, I wouldn't even wake up till Santa came on, Thanksgiving. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm like 9 years old. Oh, Santa. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm 9 years old. I am not goddamn six. Anyway, this is keep getting hilarious, or and normally I wouldn't degrade a fellow soldier. I don't care if he's a National Guard. Okay, yeah, like only I wouldn't. But this dude, his record, and honestly, he's one of them. I ain't bring out my other phone. Hold up. All right, I gotta go back. All right, so anyway, so trying to film up some grease, well, whatever. Now I didn't switched to olive oil. I don't use seed oil, all that shit. Anyway, but all right, trying to heat up, watching, and it's gonna be some. All right, so they finally tell this dude record, and honestly, I'm like 24 years. He was only in the National Guard ever, right? And in 24 years, he became a CSM, but National Guard. All right. Okay. And like I said, okay, I guess that's not fast, but National Guard, yep, once a week, weekend warrior, right? He's a weekend warrior. He got out in 2005. It's like, no, no. Obviously, he's a leg. He ain't no ranger. He ain't special. He's nothing. Okay. I mean, not nothing like I said. He's a fellow. I'm not saying he's. What I'm saying, he don't have nothing like that. They would have said it. And I clicked on this. I ain't even finished. I couldn't. I had to run out here. I had to run out here and make a video, right? All right. So listen. This is.
Democratic vice presidential running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, will spend the next few days and weeks introducing himself to more Americans. Esme Murphy takes a look at Walz's background as a veteran, teacher, congressman, and governor.
And I am the chair of the Democratic Governors Association.
Kim Walz was born in the spring of 1964 and grew up in small town Nebraska.
Look, I went to a high school, 400 people in the town, 24.
Why he looks so much older? I mean, yeah, he's older than me, but he look way older. You know, it's like dude. Even hell, Tom Cruise look young. He's younger than Tom Cruise. I'm not saying he should look like Tom Cruise, no homo, but this nigga look like he about 70 or 80.
Kids in my class.
He joined the National Guard as a teenager using the GI Bill to pay tuition. Walz served in the National Guard for the next 24 years. After graduating, he taught in China for a year. Then he returned to Nebraska.
It did not keep talking about China. I just was talking about China. He's a goddamn traitor. I told you So after he got out the National Guard, he taught in China. I don't know what he did. Probably taught English. That's fine. On the surface, that's fine. He taught, whatever, English to Chinese people, over there. He went to China. Okay, that's his job. And it's overseas. You're getting paid, blah, 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 blah. But now we know China, this is not a conspiracy. The China connection. Man, come on. Okay, he was, at first I tried to give a little, he feel artillery, but they didn't tell his whole, but they got to. They have no choice. This morning, right? He's a National Guardsman or reserve. Remember, I'm talking to military people now. The only time I felt a little bit envy of National Guardsmen and reservists was in basic and AIT, because they would brag about it. And technically it was a little sting, because at the time when it was hard at first, and it's kind of hard, I'm going home after this. I'm a National Guard. I'm a reserve. No, I'm not. No, I didn't hold no. Remember I told you after about first of all, I ended up getting promoted. Again, I ended up getting promoted in basic. So obviously, as y'all like to say that, and I say it like a nigga, I showed my ass, right? I showed out. I didn't plan to. But at first I was sucking wind. I was about to die. The first time, I never forget. Trust me, I don't forget that. But after about 3 weeks, it was over, right? For the whole time. And if they wouldn't try to kill me, it would have been like that. No stopping me. That's what they know, right? But it gets to a point. No, I wasn't mad. Now y'all stop saying, I can go. I'm a reservist. I'm going home. They are after AIT. After they go home, or National Guardsman. But he got in at 81 and comes out of CSM, Command Sergeant Major. Not just a Sergeant Major. It's still the same rank. I think you get the same pay grade. It's just, with us, it's like you're still just an E8. A command, you still an E9. Maybe like Sergeant Major of the Army, he get, more money, obviously. But other than that, it's like a first sergeant and a master sergeant. You still just an E8. It's just you got more. That's what I was just talking about. You just got more responsibility. Most motherfuckers just want to be a master sergeant, and that's it. They don't want to be a first sergeant. Still just an E8. But anyway, so this guy, he's a leg, and then he went to China. Remember I said something this morning. I said Benedict Arnold. That guy. I'm telling you, he was over in China for a year, and he's a national. It is like, well, what is a National Guardsman? I don't. It just means he has less loyalty, I would think. It's easier to seduce him to the dark side, and he's field artillery, meaning he don't have a security clearance. When I was a fucking private, I had a higher security clearance than he did because I was commo. And then I went to an MI unit in the 82nd. So now my security clearance, all that, whatever. So I know the briefings. As he got up in rank, yeah, you're going to have to because you're a command, yeah. But that means all the years before he rose up in rank, it's just more descent. He probably had descent because he was in that. That's what he was in National Guard. He probably hated that shit. It's like, well, how did he rise up if he hated it? Communist. That's why I just talking about. They tried to kill. They got mad at me when I was in the 82nd. They got mad at me for, I guess, showing my ass, air quotes, showing out, doing my best. So they already had infiltrated the military. I'm telling you, a guy like this is why they picked this clown.
He returned to Nebraska, where he began his career as a school teacher. In the 90s, he married his wife Gwen, a fellow teacher, and moved to Mankato, Minnesota. He was first elected to Congress in 2006 from Minnesota's 1st congressional district, beating the Republican incumbent by more than 5 percentage points. Walz would serve in Congress for the next 12 years.
The only thing I heard from the people out here is we're going to rebuild, and they said we're not looking for handouts, we're just looking for a hand up.
He ran for governor.
Look at all the comments. All the people from Minnesota, I don't know. You can say, well, those are communist trolls too. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. I just don't. From right there, you don't know that man. It's weird what you're saying. I don't have to know him. He's not one of us. That is a. He couldn't hack it. He was a National Guard. That's fine. Okay, yeah. At the time, he was smart. He'll sign up. He in 1981 he was 18 or whatever 17. He was 17. Okay, he didn't sign. It matter. That's another thing. All us regular army, yeah, we're dummies because we signed up full time. The national, and I promise you, it didn't get to me. I'm looking at the drill sergeant. Those were my role models. I'm finna, I did. I'm finna go to drill sergeant school. But then, I learned about the 82nd. So that was on the back burner. I still could have went to drill sergeant school, but that was on the back burner. Now, Ranger and all this air assault, but I always had goals, and it wasn't lofty or unattainable. They weren't lofty goals. It was a snap. This guy could, he's a National Guardsman. Look at him. And it's like, well, he's supposed to be second in command of the whole country, and literally second in command of the free world. This guy? Come on, man. Y'all try to say this guy about me, but I don't. Why doesn't bother? You know why it doesn't bother me when y'all like this? I know you're lying. I know your girl trying to fuck me, nigga. It's like, yeah, I'm not mad. Shit, I could back up what I say. Not just credentials, physically, mentally. You can't. You're not gonna get me, right? Not y'all. I ain't saying there's nobody that can get me. I even wondered, why don't y'all send the people that can get me? Y'all don't. Y'all always send, a loser so he could play victim. And you could say, see, you think you're better. And then I'm like, why don't y'all just send someone who's better than me? That shit ended all, but y'all are stupid. Right? Y'all don't do that. I've been saying that.
Said we're not looking for kids in my class.
He joined the National Guard as a teenager using the GI Bill to pay tuition. Walz would serve in the National Guard for the next 24 years. After graduating, he taught in China for a year. Then he returned to Nebraska, where he began his career as a school teacher. In the 90s, he married his wife Gwen, a fellow teacher, and moved to Mankato, Minnesota. He was first elected to Congress in 2006 from Minnesota's 1st congressional district, beating the Republican incumbent by more than 5 percentage points. Walz would serve in Congress for the next 12 years.
The only thing I heard from the people out here is we're going to rebuild, and they said we're not looking for handouts, we're just looking for a hand up.
He ran for governor in 2018, beating Republican Jeff Johnson by more than 11 points.
I will be your governor just as much as I will be for the people in this room.
The defining moments of his first...
He's just like Obama. He thinks he just make a speech. And he hasn't done, what is his real record? They don't say anything that he done this. He brought a company from overseas to Minnesota. He done none of that shit. The Republican girl, I remember in Alabama when I was in the Army, he brought Mercedes to Alabama. All that people, niggas make money. My homeboy to this day, he been there since like 98, right? But remember I told you, he the one that hung up on me, like 2 years, whatever I call. But that time he called me and he's like, you don't like, he was talking about the jab. You don't want to get, this might have been it was, I had the blue truck. I was in the blue Tahoe. And he called me. And then, he just hung. So, he even said, you know what? He even says, save lives. You don't want to say, I'm like, what are you talking about? Saving lives. And then, he tried to get me. Obviously, I was in the military because, whatever. We hang together when I left. When I, what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. Nigga, y'all mad I left, joined the military? You ended up with a better job, making whatever, as far as money wise. But, so he's like, well, didn't you have to? That's different. Them shots I was getting in 80 seconds, that's protect against malaria. I had been told them about, all that shit. If you go into the jungle, hepatitis, this and that, blah, blah, blah. We had to get shots every 6 months. You had to keep your shot. I still got my shot record. You got to keep your shot, the sergeant, well, hey, let me see your shot record, but more than likely he was already up on it. Hey, you need to go get your shots. All right, cool. And he's like, you took them shots, but this, whatever. I don't want to get a strike. That's what he got mad about. I never told what he got. He's like, well, don't you think you want to save lives? What the heck? Anyway, and then I was laughing. And then he hung up. And I guess I was close to where I'm going. I just laughed. I'm like, this nigga just hung up. Because like all the jokes I talk about, I'm like, if we was in person, I'd be calling you, all, like, nigga, did you really get mad? Anyway. Uh, so what did this guy do right here? What did he do? Nothing. He has all that. He's a family man. We don't give a fuck. That's about, like I said, didn't I just say it earlier? When I was on Facebook, like in 2010, whatever. And some of the black girls, I think it was one of my high school classmates. It was, she was married or whatever, probably said whatever. But that's not what I noticed. It was all of us. And, but she posted, oh, look at my first family. And at the time, I ain't think, da da da. That's all they care about. Some kind of image, like I said, with Obama, it's supposed to look like some kind of civil rights. It's like, no, he ain't do nothing. Obama, that's what I'm saying. Y'all so busy, they just doing some kind of, misdirection, like a magician. They put Obama and Michelle in front of you, and that's all you cared about. You ain't care about the country going to hell. You thought it was, Michelle, she wear them dresses, all that shit. And me, you growing up a church family, yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing for a fact. They started dressing like Michelle Obama. That was a thing. I didn't understand why they wanted me to see them dressed like that. And yeah, that was a thing. Them flower dresses, all that shit back in like 010, 09, all that. They older women. That was a thing. So anyway, I know for a fact. That's all they care about is appearance. So this dude, they don't say no kind of substance, just whatever, just bullshit. A National Guardsman. I know he is CSL, or was, but he was a National Guardsman and nothing, and that's it. Field artillery, that's it, that's another thing. But okay, but he's a National Guardsman, because think about it. National Guard is for the defense of the country, of the state. So his field artillery, that's why he really ain't even get called up to go, because he got out in 2005. He had 5 whole years to go to Afghanistan or whatever after September 11th. Well, 4 years, right? So, these, weekend warriors, man. These dudes weekend. Let me listen to the rest of it.
First term came in a tumultuous year, 2020. First came the COVID pandemic. All supported major lockdowns.
Pushing the envelope as close as I can to opening things up.
Then on May 25th, George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police. Massive demonstrations.
George Floyd. I did not just bring up George Floyd. See, China, George. Didn't I just bring up George Floyd on my last live stream? So his call to fame, he did something for George Floyd. Crackhead George Floyd. Like I said, George Floyd, we the exact same, or would have been. He's not here no more because he decided to use crack. Instead of selling crack, like all of my classmates, we didn't go to school together. Obviously, I was in school in Birmingham, Alabama. We the exact same age, right? He decided to use crack. And look what happened to him, right? So I guess he ain't listen to Eazy and NWA. You know, when Dope Man came out when we was kids, or either he did listen to Dope Man and he wanted to be the clucker. You know what I'm saying? He didn't listen to Eazy. He was, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube was rapping, you know, if you smoke crap, you a stupid motherfucker. Known around the hood as a neighborhood clucker. Doing all the crack with the money you got on your hands and knees. Such a poor piece of rock. George Floyd said, yeah, I'm gonna be that nigga on my hands and knees. The rest of us, we all dope mad. Yeah, we go be the dope man. I mean, we was kids, 13 years old. And I ain't making no excuses. I said, you know, I already said that. I ain't even say you know, whatever. That's superstition. I said what y'all tried to kill me, jealousy, because you know, whatever. Y'all haters, y'all mad at a nigga that the real niggas.
Massive demonstrations turned violent and entire blocks.
So this nigga claim to fame is a clucker, George Floyd.
Walls would serve in Congress for the next 12 years.
The only thing I heard from the people out here is we're going to rebuild, and they said we're not looking for handouts, we're just looking for a hand up.
He ran for governor in 2018, beating Republican Jeff Johnson by more than 11 points.
I will be your governor just as much as I will be for the people in this room.
The defining moments of his first term came in a tumultuous year, 2020. First came the COVID pandemic. Walls supported major lockdowns,
Pushing the envelope as close as I can to opening things up.
Then on May 25th, George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police. Massive demonstrations turned violent and entire blocks of the Twin Cities burned.
This is life-threatening, dangerous.
After 3 days, Walls called in the National Guard, criticized for not doing it sooner. He also weathered the country's largest pandemic fraud scandal and maintained his administration did everything it could.
He weathered. You see how they try to they think we're stupid. They try to use these words. He weathered, like he's tough and weathered. That's why they want an old ass looking nigga who ain't nothing but 60 years old. He like 60 is old. Like I said, Tom Cruise don't look. You like, well, he probably got injections. I don't know. Tom Cruise, I doubt it. He looks, yeah, weathered. That's what they want. They want that. They want to fool us that he's experienced. He's weathered. He's been through it. No, he's a punk. He's a fucking look. I'm not dissing the rest of the National Guard, but this dude make y'all look bad. They called them weekend warriors way before I was before I was even born. That ain't something I made up. Weekend warrior, you know.
Once it learned of the fraud. Despite escalating criticism, Walls easily won re-election in 2022.
We're going to see things that
Easily, of course he did. Look, well, I don't want to get I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll leave it at
are
that.
able to move forward.
Walls passed a sweeping progressive agenda that included free school meals, codifying abortion rights, legalizing marijuana, enacting paid family leave, and more.
We're pretty sure it's going to mean a fairer, more inclusive, better, and more prosperous Minnesota.
The Walls have
Fair, more inclusive, meaning you're gonna let the losers cheat. So you're gonna cheat the winners. No, that's all that means. You're gonna cheat the winners, and when we get upset and complain, y'all gonna wait until y'all done cheated us so much that our record is tarnished enough that you can say, no, you just can't win. That's what you tried with me. Yeah, you cheated so much and sabotaged me so much that My record was fucked up, and it's like, but people saw. They saw through it. Everybody saw through it. And now you're mad. That's why you're like, shut up, stop talking. Yeah, exactly. They saw through it. Now you can't. Now there's nothing you can do. It's too late. The genie is out of the bottle. There's nothing you can do. Now you're scared. You thought it was a good tactic. If we sabotage him enough, make him look bad enough, nobody will believe him. Exactly. Nobody will believe him. Nobody will. Like, I don't need. But see, that's the difference. I'm not a bitch. I don't need nobody to believe me. All I needed you was. Yeah, exactly. All I see. That's the difference. You thought I needed people to believe me. You like. That's why I know. I told you I'm doing this for everybody else. I said it in 2018. The first time I made a YouTube video, when something told me to make a video, I told you I'm doing it for the people who can't do nothing about y'all. I said, y'all can't fuck with me. That's the only thing I brag about my check. You can't touch me because of my check. I got money. And I don't have to give back. No, I want to piss y'all off. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't need you to believe me that y'all sabotage, or somebody else to believe me. I just needed you to believe that that you ain't gonna be here much longer. That's what I needed you to believe. That's all I did. Yeah, believe me now, listen to me now, or believe me later. That's all I needed. I don't need you to believe, oh, you wrong me, or something like that. Nigga, I've been told y'all over, and I wanted y'all to think you just talking. I told you, I don't know how. I don't even know how. I'm telling you, you don't have long, man. You don't have long. I told you, all I needed you to believe is that, yeah, it's over for you. That's all. I ain't need you to believe, oh, they did this to me. I know. I needed you to believe I'm coming with. That's, I want you to. I ain't threatening. I don't make threat. I make promises, like, like real whatever. Anyway, let me this nigga is whatever.
Moments of his first term came in a tumultuous year, 2020. First came the COVID pandemic. Walls supported major lockdowns.
Pushing the envelope as close as I can to opening things up.
Then on May 25th, George Floyd was killed.
They said it like it's a good thing. He supported major lockdowns. What sane person, a business owner especially, or even employees he supported, they're saying it like it's a good thing. He supported major Democrat lockdowns. People lost their businesses. All right, this phone running out of power. It's finna cut off. So this phone lost power. Look, these niggas right here. They acted like they yeah, this nigga got his window down. This phone finna run out of power. It's at 5%. I know y'all don't see it, but I see it. It's at 5%. What's up with everybody driving over there? But I'm finna go cook this lamb chop, cause this phone dying. Like I said, it's at 5%.